In today's world, the concepts of money and power are always intriguing and subject to debate. Money is a means of exchange that people use to meet their basic needs, acquire wealth, and achieve prosperity. Power, on the other hand, is the capacity of an individual or an institution to influence, control, and direct others. The relationship between money and power has been deeply intertwined throughout history. The origins of money trace back to the depths of human history. It first emerged as a medium of exchange in barter economies and gradually evolved into a measure of value. People created a common currency, used for the exchange of goods and services, thus facilitating trade. These currencies also brought economic power along with them. The opportunity to accumulate wealth, make investments, and earn money through trade has driven people to seek greater power. How can the rise of digital currencies affect traditional currencies and national monetary policies? How do the economic and political powers of global corporations affect the sovereignty and authority of nation-states? How will income and wealth inequality influence the dynamics of money and power in the future? For all this and more, before starting the video, if you're interested in universal economic history, you can subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to be informed about new videos I upload every day. Enjoy the watch.
Universal economic history.
The history of power is deeply intertwined with the concept of power throughout human history. The emergence of power coincided with the advent of human societies. Here are some significant stages in the evolution of power and the rise of political authority. Power in primitive societies. The earliest human societies often formed through the coming together of families and tribes. In these societies, power relied heavily on the authority of family elders or tribal leaders. Leaders gained recognition through physical strength or factors such as old age and experience. Power in ancient civilizations. Power became more complex in ancient civilizations. Civilizations like Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome saw the rise of central figures such as kings and emperors who held power. These rulers often claimed divine legitimacy and governed their people. They sustained their power through institutions like bureaucracy and the military. Feudalism in the Middle Ages. Power structures and dynamics changed during the Middle Ages. Feudalism was a system where landowners and nobles held sway. Landowners leased their lands to lower nobles to protect and govern them. Nobles and the church played central roles in this system. The relationship between money and power in ancient times is evident in the histories of major empires like the Roman Empire, the Persian Empire, and others. Here are some important points regarding money and power associated with these empires. Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was one of the largest and most powerful empires in history. One of Rome's achievements was the Roman coin, which served as the economic foundation of its monetary system. Emperors used their portraits on coins to strengthen their image and authority. The power to mint coins rested with the emperors, who used their portraits and symbols of rulership on coins to consolidate their power and authority. Persian Empire. The Persian Empire is also considered a significant power throughout history. The Persians used different currencies to trade with various civilizations. The Persian coin contributed to the facilitation of trade and the economic power of the empire. Coins often bore the faces or symbols of Persian rulers. Hellenistic civilizations. Hellenistic civilizations like Alexandria, Seleucus, and Ptolemaic Egypt were also significant in terms of the relationship between money and power. These civilizations developed their own monetary systems and used currency to ensure their economic power and imperial dominance. During the Middle Ages, feudalism and manorial systems exhibited a different dynamic in the relationship between money and power. In this period, money became not only an economic tool but also part of social and political relationships. Here are some points to understand the relationship between money and power during the feudal era. Agricultural economy and natural exchange. Feudalism relied heavily on land ownership and an agricultural economy. Land was considered the primary source of power and authority. Money played a limited role within the agricultural economy, which was based on bartering and natural exchange. Vassalage and loyalty. Feudalism relied on personal loyalty and obligations between lords and vassals, nobles. Vassals were obligated to provide specific services and taxes in exchange for land and protection from lords. Money was used as an expression of loyalty in these relationships, in addition to being an economic instrument. Taxation and government expenditure. Lords governed local governments by establishing their authority over lands. Taxes were a significant factor in the relationship between money and power during this period. Lords, as landowners, collected taxes from peasants to generate income, which they used to maintain and exert their power. The relationship between capitalism and money underwent a significant transformation after the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution marked a shift from manual labor-based production processes to factory systems that relied on machinery, accelerating capital accumulation and reshaping power relationships. Here are some points to understand the relationship between capitalism and money. Capital accumulation and industrial development. The Industrial Revolution represented a transition from a labor-intensive production process to a factory system that employed machines. During this period, capital owners made significant investments in production processes to maximize profits. Money became a tool for capital accumulation, facilitating the growth of businesses, expanding production capacity, and driving the development of new industries. Financial institutions and the financial system. Money systems and financial institutions play crucial roles in capitalist economies. Banks, credit systems, stocks, and exchanges have made capital mobility possible, making money and power relationships even more complex. Financial systems facilitated capital accumulation, encouraged investments, and supported economic growth. Emergence of the working class and social relationships. The Industrial Revolution resulted in massive migration from rural areas to cities. This period witnessed the emergence of the working class, which brought about a shift in the power balance by challenging capital owners. Workers organized and formed unions to demand higher wages and improved working conditions. Money became an instrument in the power struggle of the working class, supporting their economic and political demands. The relationship between money, power, and the rise of nation-states is closely intertwined. With the formation of the modern state system, the currency became a crucial factor in solidifying the economic and political power of nation-states. Here are some points to understand this relationship. Central authority and currency control. With the rise of nation-states, the power and control over currency issuance became centralized. States managed their economies and controlled the money supply by issuing their own currency. Money became a symbol of sovereignty for the state and an expression of its economic power. Taxation and financial independence. Nation-states gained the authority to collect taxes. Taxes provided revenue for the state to finance public services. Money was used as a tool for taxation, ensuring the financial independence of the state. States could manage their economies and implement economic policies by using their own currency. Economic power and colonization. Money and trade played a crucial role in the expansion of colonial empires and economic exploitation during the colonial era. Money facilitated trade, resource control, and opportunities for enrichment. Trade routes, resources, and wealth acquired through colonization became sources of economic and political power. The dynamics of money and power in the present are shaped by the global economy and political power balances. In the modern world, countries and corporations with economic power tend to also seek political and military power. Here are some points to understand the relationship between money and power in the present. Globalization and free trade. Globalization has interconnected the world economy. Free trade agreements, international financial institutions, and global trade networks play important roles in the distribution of money and power. Large economies and multinational corporations enhance their economic and political power by competing in global markets. International financial system. The international financial system plays a significant role in the relationship between money and power. Global banks, investment funds, and other financial institutions control capital movements and influence economic power. Monetary policies, exchange rates, and lending activities can impact the balance of power in international relations. Hegemony and dollar dominance. The American dollar has become a dominant force in international trade and financial systems. The economic and political power of the United States has played a major role in establishing the global status of the dollar as a reserve currency. Dollar dominance reinforces the global influence of the United States and to some extent provides a level of control over other countries. The future of the relationship between money and power is uncertain, but it is predicted to evolve with the influence of digital currencies, emerging power centers, inequality, sustainability, and other factors. These changes may lead to significant transformations in the economic, social, and political structures of societies. States will need to adapt their policies and regulations to accommodate the future evolution of money and power. Additionally, global cooperation and the role of international organizations are likely to increase. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If there's a specific video you'd like me to make on economic history, don't forget to mention it in the comments section. I wish everyone a pleasant day.
Universal economic history.